If you're looking for a spot to get Broncos coverage throughout the entire offseason, including the dog days of it, right? May, June, and July, when some other people just kind of mail it in and wait for training camp. But here at the Broncos Breakdown, we're going to keep you guys informed 12 months of the year throughout the entire NFL offseason, because in my opinion, the NFL doesn't even have an offseason. So hit that big red button and subscribe today if you haven't already to get caught up on the latest Broncos news and rumors. Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson. We got a bit of a later episode today, but I thought it'd be fun to plan out an ideal/perfect schedule for the Broncos. This is not a schedule leak. This is not the Broncos schedule, but this is, hey, if I got to pick when Denver played, who and where, well, not the where, but at least when, this is what I would do. I think this would line up for the best outcome for the Broncos to maximize the season and not have a tough schedule, ignoring who they're playing. But we do know the teams they are playing home and away. We just don't know when yet. This is not new information. It's based on where you finish in the standings and a rotation of different division opponents. But home games this year, Houston, Indy, and Arizona coming to Mile High, along with San Francisco and the Jets once again. And then as for the road games, the Broncos play 9 because they got an odd number of games now. And last year they had odd number home. This year it's odd away, except one of them doesn't really count. You know what I mean? Jacksonville's in London, so more of a neutral site game, but still. Going to Baltimore, Seattle, Tennessee, those are going to be some tough ones, along with, we already know the Rams is Christmas Day. So who do you want to play week 1? I'll show you what I think would be the most ideal, in my opinion. It's kind of it's a bit of a bold take one, but I want to know who you want to see the Broncos play to start the 2022 season. For me, I want to play the Chiefs week 1. I know that's a bit adventurous and a bit bold, but let's end the streak early, right? Let's get that monkey off our back right out of the gates. You see what I'm saying? I don't even want to say the stats, but we know how long it has been. 12, 13 straight games. The Chiefs have beaten the Broncos. But let's just get that out of the way and win at Arrowhead, because that's going to feel like 2 wins. Really 3 wins. You win in football, it's a win. You beat a division opponent, that feels like 2 wins. And you do it at their place, it feels like you're 3-0 after week 1. Let's improve to like 6-0 or 5-0 by going to Carolina week 2, which I know, perfect schedule, start the season off with back-to-back road games. Yeah, but the Panthers are going to be a dumpster fire next season. I think they're going to be the worst team in football. So how about we help solidify that by coming off a high win, right, in Kansas City, and then following it up with back-to-back road wins to start the season, and then make it maybe 3 straight by going to Seattle. I know 3 straight road games off the start of the season, not very likely, but what if you let Russell Wilson get a little comfortable before playing the Seahawks? There's been some murmurs out there that the rematch may be week 1. I saw Benjamin Albright tweet that out, but I still think in my ideal perfect schedule here, play at Seattle week 3. That way he can get a little more accustomed to the playbook and not have it be the opening week of the season. Also, Sunday Night Football. So if you're excited to see the Broncos play, Russell Wilson play in orange and blue and orange, type 3. Let's get that comment section going with his jersey number. If you want to see the Broncos come out and Russell Wilson beat Kansas City week 1 to start the year and get that annoying team in Missouri out of the way right out of the gates. My next one is a home game against the 49ers. The reason why I put San Francisco at week 4 is Trey Lance early on, before he's getting a little more into a rhythm of being an NFL starting quarterback. I like that idea. I'd rather play Lance earlier in the season than later in the season, because what if he starts to get hot down the stretch as he gets more pro-ready and more accustomed to the NFL life? Week 5, back-to-back home games. The Houston Texans come into town. You know, get a couple home wins in a row here. Start the week off, start the season off on a good note right there. Listen, Houston's going to suck too. They may be worse than Carolina. So play them home after San Francisco. Get some confidence going into a Thursday night game against the Chargers. Couple early primetime matchups here. Sunday Night Football at Seattle, and then the Chargers on Thursday night. And then week 7, I've got the Jets at home. Doesn't really matter when you play the Jets, in my opinion. The Jets are going to suck. They're maybe a little better than other times this year. But I like the idea of getting a cupcake game against the Jets like last season before you go to London, where you play the Jags in Week 8 on October 30th. This is not the perfect schedule segment of the show. This is, we know they're playing October 30th. 95% sure that's going to be Week 8. So why don't you get a nice, easy game beforehand by scheduling the Jets at home? Are you excited for the London game, though? It's going to be on ESPN Plus and only on ESPN Plus. And if you don't believe me and you're hoping, well, maybe it's going to change by the time that comes around, I hate to disappoint you. It's not 7:30 a.m. kickoff Mountain Time. So Kegs and Eggs and ESPN Plus with Steve Levy. Maybe someone will die. Remember when Justin Fields died? I'll never forget. Week 9, bye game. That's right. Play the NFL. Coming off that Jacksonville game, you get a bye. You get to pick when your bye is when you go to London, so make it afterwards. Week 10, home against the Cardinals. Now, I deliberately put this game at Week 10 because under Cliff Kingsbury in Arizona, the Cardinals, from Week 10 onwards, are 8-15. They always collapse down the stretch. They can't handle it after the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season when other defenses start to do their homework on the Cardinals, figure out Arizona. And Cliff doesn't have a response. So if you're going to play the Arizona Cardinals, play them later in the year, you know? Let everyone else figure them out and let Evero dial up a good defense against Kyler Murray. Week 11, I go with the Raiders on Monday Night Football. This seems about right, you know, when the Raiders start to do their midseason collapse. I think it's on par. Week 11, I know last year was a bit of an anomaly, but still. I can smell from right now the Raiders getting off to a 3-1 start. That fan base thinking they're going to the Super Bowl. And Monday Night Football at Mile High, yeah, that sounds like a good time to just crash their hopes and dreams. Week 12 on the road in Tennessee. My only thought is maybe by now Malik Willis is starting, and so you get to play a rookie quarterback rather than play the Titans early on. I don't really know if there's ever a good time to play this Mike Vrabel Tennessee Titans team. People are going to count them out this year. I'm kind of one of those people, but I wouldn't be blown away if they come out and have a great season. Week 13 versus the Chargers, Sunday Night Football. You're going to notice a trend here down the stretch. A lot of primetime matchups here. And what about a statement division win on Sunday Night Football? Pick up 2 division wins in your last 3 weeks? Sounds pretty good to me. Speaking of the AFC West, what is your biggest thorn? Like, what team do you hate the most? Whether it's someone in your office is a Chiefs, a Raiders, or a Chargers fan, if Chargers fans even exist. But what team in the West can you not stand? You know, let me know in the comments section. I'll probably go with the Raiders. I said last season at home the Broncos were going to torch the Raiders, and I got torched in my DMs by Raider Nation when that did not happen. So I'll go with Las Vegas, or Oakland, really. Week 14, Colts. This is another team that's like, you never really know what to. Indy's just going to be a tough team. You know, they'll never be an easy out. But I like the idea of getting 2 straight home games going into a tough stretch at the end of the season, which sets up for Week 15 at the Raiders. Yeah, put a couple division games later on. Sometimes you see the NFL like to keep those division games late into the season because it's just more exciting. It's more drama. So I go Raiders in Week 15. In Week 16, we already know this one. It's going to be the Rams on Christmas Day. 95% sure, like I said, similar for the Jags in London. That will fall on Week 16. And speaking of Christmas Day, what's your favorite holiday? For me, I think I like Thanksgiving because I get to watch 3 games of football, and I just take care of the appetizers, which is really just moving the cheese tray from the kitchen that my mom made to the family room. Producer Jeremy, Rosh Hashanah, yeah, that's what Jeremy's celebrating when it comes to December, or Hanukkah, whatever that may. Yeah, well, yeah, Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Okay, so moving on. Week 17 at the Ravens. Is there really a good time to play Baltimore? No. But if you play the Ravens after Christmas, when Lamar Jackson had a huge Christmas meal, maybe he's got those post-dinner runs, you know, when Lamar had to leave that Monday night game in Cleveland because he had to go take a dookie. Maybe he's still got some of that extra Christmas belly. It's my best thought. I don't have much of another better idea of when you want to play Lamar Jackson. And then wrap up the season at home, Sunday Night Football, Week 18 against the Chiefs. Could the division title be on the line? It would be get your popcorn ready type of moment to play the Chiefs at the end of the season. Week 18 at home for all the marbles. So here's my perfect schedule. Right there, first 10 weeks of the season. I know it's a little bold with a strong away stretch to open up the season, but I like the idea of getting that Arrowhead game out of the way. Who cares when you play the Panthers, really, but why don't you embarrass them early? Go to Seattle for Sunday Night Football. Couple straight home games in the middle of the season, and then down the stretch here, you play a handful of division games. You got the Raiders twice. You got the Chargers at home for Sunday Night Football. Yeah, I think I count 8 primetime games. 6 primetime games out of 18. Was that a third of the season under the big lights? It's going to be weird to not say Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth for Sunday Night Football, but that's what we got dealt there. So that is my perfect schedule. The actual schedule will come out tomorrow. We'll be breaking that down, and then I'll be giving my schedule predictions the following day. So make sure you subscribe. That way when the real schedule drops, you stay informed and you know when to start buying your plane tickets to go catch a Broncos road game or whatever it may be. Hit that big red button, turn those notifications on, and I'll catch up with you guys later with more Broncos news and rumors.